Good afternoon, everybody. This is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor and president of the Mythgard Institute. Welcome to another week of Mythgard adventures. So I am here again. Gryfflet is here, I should say, with Candaith, the illiterate ranger. Okay, that's a little unfair. He's not totally illiterate. He's just can't read the black speech, but you have to admire how stubborn he is about that, right? He's not going to take no for an answer when it comes to I can't read the black speech. He's just going to keep collecting reading material, and pretty soon he'll sort it out. So, and he did seem to take that. He got that correspondence course or something between the last quests, so that was handy. So I'm going to take Candaith up on his offer to take me to the Forsaken Inn here this morning. We're going to start off at the... Wow, I was levitating there for a little while. My 7-year-old loves it when that happens. Nice vantage point on Weathertop there from the view of the road. Okay, all right. Here we are at the stable master. How excellent.
Greetings.
Okay. So here is the Forsaken Inn, and certainly looking like it's living up to its name. The Forsaken Inn, this is of course the East Road. If we look at our map, this is the East Road that goes from Bree all the way through across the last bridge, through the Trollshaws and over in the general Rivendell direction. Now, the Forsaken Inn is one of the inns mentioned by name in The Lord of the Rings. There are 6, I think, inns listed by name, or, mentioned actually by name. We got in the Shire, we get the Green Dragon and the Ivy Bush. We get the Floating Log and the Golden Perch, and the Bridge Inn. And then we get, of course, the Prancing Pony in Bree and the Forsaken Inn here. This is, I think that's 7. I think it's the Forsaken Inn is mentioned in The Hobbit as the last sort of point vestige of civilization before they pass out into the lone lands, which are of course completely uninhabited, much to the frustration of the Lodro developers in the books. So we're going to sort of talk a little bit about how they handled the whole unoccupied, totally abandoned lowlands question here today. But so the Forsaken Inn, as I said, is mentioned. It's looking pretty forsaken. I don't know about you, but I'd fix that hole in the... I mean, I too agree that you do... when you get a little hole in the roof, you don't have to patch it right away, but that's really... When you can see the eaves, that's pretty bad. But anyway, okay. Let's not just criticize their maintenance policies here at the Forsaken Inn. Let's go into the Forsaken Inn because we were told to speak with one Gaderick Muntz for more information about Radagast, so that's what we're going to do. Let's go see if we can find out something about Radagast. Hey, Gaderick Muntz.
Woe to me.
He's taken a chance by giving us his word that I can be trusted. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, I guess he's gambling on the fact that I'm going to work out, but okay. You hope I hope I'm worth the risk too. We are a simple people. Who are you? Who wish to remain apart from society. Oh, how lovely. But there are efforts that all must undertake to survive, and we will ask you for assistance to prove that you are worthy. Okay, a member of the Eglain in the Forsaken Inn. Yeah, okay. Okay, like this guy? He was just kind of telling me that he was a member, so... He's not hard to find. That seems a little strange. Okay.
It's a sorry day.
Yeah. I appear to have the best intentions. Okay. You're going to grant me my request. Oh, nice.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Oh, excellent. Okay. So, okay. I'm guessing that back in the old days when this quest was originally designed, that one wasn't quite as easy as that. I suspect I had to go find the other guy in the other camp, and they just made it work for Gaderick Muntz as well when they made things easier later on. Okay, so Radagast is there. Hooray! Okay, let's see. What is this? Radagast is such a friend, and here at the behest of our leader to aid us with a terror emerging from a long slumber. That sounds bad. Okay, he's taken residence in the ruins of Ostgaruth. Yeah, okay. I welcome to make the journey east. Oh, good. Well, I appreciate that. Okay. So I can go and find Radagast in Ostgaruth, which is a ways off. And I'm nowhere near the level for that, as we can see. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, okay. As you see, that quest is red, so I think I'm going to stick in the general Forsaken Inn area. The level requirement in the Book 2 of the Epic Quest here jumps really quickly. So I think I'm going to explore this region here before I get up there. Oh.
How can I be of service?
So what about the Lone Lands here, buddy? Okay, some come to these lands because they are shunned. Others simply to pass through. Some folk like me are here at the behest of others with nothing more than profit in mind. Well, I wasn't shunned, though maybe I'm being... How'd you know? Would you know it if you were shunned? Because, like, are they going to tell you that they're shunning you? I'm not really sure there, man,
Do something for me.
What do you do? Oh, you make your living trading. What do you trade? You trade Arnorian heirlooms, do you? That's so fun. Okay, a veil beneath the ruins of Minas Ariel, one of my favorite names in the game. Okay, yeah. Go to Minas Ariel and obtain coins, heirlooms, and wolf teeth. Yeah, because there are wolves protecting the Arnorian heirlooms. Well, yeah, I bet that, Falster, are there Arnorian walls around there? Because if there are, I'm in, man. Like, you barely even need to reward me for that. So I need to level up, so I'm just going to collect some... Wait, trade bundles? Are these... Oh, you trade artifacts. Okay, so there's lots of artifact trading going on here. Well, there are lots of ruins, so, it makes a certain amount of sense. I'll talk about that in a minute. Goblins have crept into the... Oh, goblins. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Are there goblins? One would have thought. Okay, the ruins of ancient Arnor. Okay. So there are... In Minas Ariel, you've got crates of goods that have been stolen by goblins. Typical. Goblin scabbards. Oh, so you just want me to just off a whole bunch of goblins. Well, that'll probably happen as I'm going about anyway, so I don't mind. Okay. Hunters become prey. Oh, wargs too. Boy, this is awkward. There are plenty of things. Vengeance for the lost. Who attacked you? Oh, the goblins again. So you want me to do another quest where I kill the same goblins. So I can do that. Okay. All right. So we've got goblins and wargs in this area, and wolves apparently, which are presumably not the same thing as the wargs.
I don't.
Oh, right. You want me to collect wolf hides, right? I love the all the quests where you're like helping people through the winter and everything. So absolutely, yeah. You need blankets. I can't wait to think of the little children who will have nice warm blankets because I was there. Oh, boar leg bones, really? For cooking, you don't say. You have some recipes? Huh. Okay. Boar feet, really? The marrow from the bones gives the soaked feet a richer taste, you don't say. Well, I'll be. Okay. Well, all in the name of culinary experimentation, I say. Craban feathers, really? For pillows? You don't... no. I mean, surely that's... I don't know about you, man. Like, I guess people have different tastes. Some people use, like, the feathers taken from scavengers for pillows, and some think that's kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. But I guess some people might use a second-hand ointment that they picked from the pocket of an orc, and others wouldn't use that. Yeah. Hey, it's the barkeep. Hi, barkeep. Anlaf the Forlorn. Are you the Forlorn? So the Forlorn is so that's why it's the Forsaken Inn, because you were forlorn, or are you just do you achieve that title when you become the barkeep of the Forsaken Inn?
I'm sorry. Did you need something?
Yeah. Dangerously close to full. Okay. Oh, I see. I thought you meant like you didn't want anybody to come, which seems an odd kind of thing for a. an innkeeper to say, I am not going to be sucked into the Inn of the Forsaken. Thank you very
Want to
much.
take a moment of your time?
Nah, I don't want to go to the Missing Supply Cart.
How can I
It's
be of
totally in the
service?
other opposite direction. Oh, you're the one that hobbit in
Did you
Bree
do
I
something
talked
for
to
me?
that time was looking for. Yeah. Oh, sure, I can look for pottery shards. Yeah, amongst the Arnorian heirlooms and everything else. Why not? Right? Absolutely. Boy, there are lots of people who really need jobs done around here.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but will you
Okay,
help me?
what's a goblin tabard exactly? I don't understand this. Okay, you've been trying to finish a little scarecrow. Okay, so you're making a scarecrow for the goblins. All right. Scare goblin would seem more, but anyway, okay. But there are none here willing to risk their lives against the goblins to bring me what I need. What do you need? I need a cloth from enough goblin tabards to complete the scarecrow. Okay. I don't know what a tabard is. So I'm collecting goblin scabbards and goblin tabards and wolf pelts and warg teeth and whatnot. I don't even know. So, wow. All right. Though I have to say, in order to get myself up to level to visit my new friends, although they're not yet my friends and think that Candace is taking a risk on trusting me, lots
Could
of
I
overlapping
speak with
quests
you,
like
ma'am?
this. What do you need boars and wolves for? What's your story here? Okay, they're causing no end of trouble. Well, okay. What do the boars do? Are they super aggressive? Are they really mean? Okay, this is irony, right? Surely you're being ironic. Like just going out and like offing a bunch of boars and wolves. It's not exactly noble, right? I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but let's not kid ourselves here. Okay, so I've got some noble deeds here to accomplish, including spotting treasure. So I better see if I can spot treasure here. Okay, fine. Let's see what the goblins of the wilderness. Ooh, wait! I have a new skill. I just leveled up there. What is it? Reveal weakness. Okay. All right. That seems. Is it actually weaken them? What's the weaken enemy defenses? Yeah. Huh. And it doesn't break stealth. Ah, cool. Alright, let's try that. Okay. Alright, I just weakened his defenses apparently. And then attempted to pick his... Oh! Oh, I stole his shoes! Which he had apparently stolen off a dwarf. Oh, man. Stealing shoes. That's pretty burglarious. I mean, unless he was carrying an extra pair of shoes in his pocket. Which I rather doubt. Okay. Am I getting stealth healed again? I am getting stealth healed again. But he had a tabard, so that's good, I guess. Alright, I want to go... So, we have here... Is this a dried riverbed? Is that what this is? It looks like the road, but it's not. Yeah. Yeah, dried riverbed here. And there's a boar minding his own business. So it looks like I'm going to be doing some hunting and traveling around today. There's another quest up here I want to do. Find the goblin camp up over the hill up towards Weathertop. I'm going to go back and get a nice view from the road of Weathertop. But in the meantime, I can also answer some lore questions because we do have some leftover lore questions from last time and a couple new ones that have come in already this week. So let's all right. Let me go back and look at some of the questions from... Okay. So, question number 1. Lucky Imp asks, where did the Watcher in the water, the big monster squid, come from? Okay, good question. I haven't the faintest idea, is unfortunately the answer. Ooh, there's Weathertop. Look at that. Okay, so you may remember in the Fellowship of the Ring... I'll get back to the squid question, but there's Weathertop from the road, so just wait. Book moment, hang on. So you may remember that Merry and Frodo and Strider climbed up to the top of Weathertop, where they discovered the rock with the rune that we saw last week. And then they looked down from there on the East Road, which is where we currently are, and they saw the Black Riders riding along the road. So this is, I'm standing here where the Black Riders came through from Bree over here and were spotted by them. And then Strider, felt bad. He threw himself down on the, behind that was a little wall up here so that they couldn't be seen silhouetted against the sky. Felt he'd been very careless. So this is a cool view. And then it's down over here is where their camp was, down under Weathertop, not all the way down, but down here. So you can see how if they had been spotted by the Black Riders, how comparatively easy they would have been to track. But anyway, let's there's a bone-crushing warg. Got some bone-crushing warg. Oh yeah, I need his tails. Why do I did tails? Those are just bounties, right? I mean, there's no we're not pretending that's useful in some way, right? I'm not gonna be saving the lives of any adorable children or anything with the tails of wargs. It's just a vengeance thing, presumably. Okay, but anyway. Let's see if I can sneak up on wargs and talk about the Watcher in the Water. So where did the giant squid come from? Like I said, I don't know. We're never told. This brings up a couple points. One point is that, Tolkien often makes the point that, there are many nameless things. It's one of the things that makes the Lord of the Rings, sort of as a general story, so rich, is that there is... there's so many things, there's so many stories that aren't told, characters that aren't explained. We get... oh, what are you running away from me now? Come on. Spear throwers are so annoying. Anyway, so many, there's a lot of things, of course, in Tolkien do receive explanations, right? And we get, of course, Tolkien's world is very famous for holding together really, really well and being really convincing, which is great. I don't really want to stand in the middle of the flames, actually. But that doesn't mean that he explains absolutely everything and that, everything is gonna all, make sense and totally fit together. It doesn't. Because he... I'm on fire! No burglars are not on fire. Anyway, so there are many things which he leaves deliberately mysterious. And the Watcher in the Water is one. He never explains the Watcher in the Water. If I could tell you my favorite Watcher in the Water origin theory, okay, it's not actually a theory. That makes it sound legitimate. It's more in the lines of a joke than a theory, actually. But in the first edition of The Hobbit, so as you may know, The Hobbit was published in 1937. And when it was published, what a lot of readers of The Hobbit don't realize is that the version of The Hobbit that we've all read growing up is a revised version. That's not how Tolkien originally published it. And of course, the most important thing there's some changes that he made here and there. For instance, he added the word mithril. The word mithril, to describe Bilbo's coat, that wasn't in the original version. He hadn't made up that word yet. That's a Lord of the Rings word. So he went back and added that later on. Silver steel is what he called it in the original version. So there are some kind of small changes like that, things that he went back and changed and added. But the most important, of course, and most obvious difference between the 1937 Hobbit and the later, the 1951 Hobbit, was Chapter 5, the Gollum chapter. Because, of course, in the original version of the story... you saw me, did you? In the original version of the story, Gollum was much less evil, and most notably, he fully intended to give Bilbo his ring. Oh, come back over here, would you please? Hate it when they run away. Okay, where's the dude? there supposed to be a guy here? Last time I was here, there was a guy tied up. Did somebody just let him go and he hasn't regenerated yet? That's kind of annoying. Where's Pengale? Oh, well. I was looking forward to seeing if I could protect somebody this time. Oh, stunned, am I? Anyway, okay. So, I was... Well, okay. A complicated aggro situation here. Looks like my stealth healer accidentally drew aggro from the goblin. That's okay. No worries. I got plenty. Okay, so as I was talking about Gollum and Chapter 5. So what happens is, Gollum in the original version is not only being set on fire, not only is Gollum less evil and slightly less creepy, though he's creepy in the original and still plans to eat Bilbo even from the get-go, but he is genuinely planning to give him the ring because the ring is just a magic ring. It's not a ring of power. There's nothing sinister. It has no hold over Gollum in particular. It's just a present that he's fully intending to hand over to Bilbo, and is really apologetic when he can't find it. And in the original version, the two of them shake hands and part as friends. So my favorite moment, though, in the 1937 version is that you may remember the really sort of moving sentences in Chapter 5, which describe Gollum's background. Right, when it's during the riddle game, when he's when there's the sun on the daisies riddle and the egg riddle, when he is reminded of days when he was less sneaky and nasty, right? And then in the version that we all grew up reading, it says before he was driven out. Before he lost all his friends, was driven out, and came down into the dark, and it paints this really sad picture of Gollum as an exile and possibly persecuted. I mean, he seems sufficiently nasty, and we don't have huge sympathy for him, but it lays the foundation for the act of mercy that Bilbo is going to show later on. So, okay, in the original version, in the 1937 version, it says, all it says about his background, about his history, is that, there was a time before, not when he was kicked out and driven away, but just when he was, before the goblins came and cut him off from all of his other friends under the mountain. So he used to have other friends under the mountain that he used to hang out with. So, there in the caves and tunnels deep under the Misty Mountains, he used to hang out with I don't know whom. It never says, nor do we have any way of guessing who on earth he's supposed to be hanging out with. And I always like to think myself, because there are very few other characters apart from the goblins that we ever meet living down under there, but there's one, the Watcher in the Water. So I always like to think that, back in the day, Gollum and the Watcher in the Water used to get together for regular poker nights and stuff, and sadly they just can't do that anymore because the goblins have come and gotten in the way, and they just the goblins put a kibosh on poker night, and that's it's awful sad. But no, seriously, we have no hint of where he came from, no sense of origin, no parallel in any of Tolkien's earlier stories. There's just that general sense of deep under the earth monstrous things lurk that are remnants of an older time. We don't know when they came or why they came or any of those things, but anyway, that's sort of the really fun part, and we see a lot of this stuff especially in the Fellowship of the Ring. we get a little bit more sort of focused on the quest as we move forward. This was, again, something that I remember in one of my conversations with the folks at Turbine, that they kind of complained about, that when you read the books, you read the Fellowship of the Ring, and Fellowship of the Ring, you've got, like, in every chapter, you've got, like, one really interesting monster after another, sort of the list of bad guys, that you get in the Fellowship of the Ring is really long, and it's really interesting. And then you get to the Two Towers, and most of the way through, it's just like orcs and orcs and orcs and orcs and orcs, and so by the time you get to the later, you get some exceptions, like Sheila, for instance, of course, but by and large, it's orcs all day long. For most of the last two books, which is a significant contrast from the Fellowship of the Ring. So that's, as I say, that's just sort of the kind of thing that we see in the Fellowship of the Ring, relatively commonly. This sort of mysterious, unknown, inexplicable monster, which gives a sense of depth of history, like who knows what happened in the elder days when creatures like this were originally spawned, or why they spawned, or how they came to be, or how old this thing is. All of those kinds of mysteries are things that we get a lot of in the Fellowship of the Ring. So anyway, that was a really, really long non-answer, but anyway, it still is interesting, and those kinds of things that you sort of speculate about, it's kind of hard to avoid. So, hi, wild boar minding his own business, but I hear that, like, your feet soaked in broth or something are super tasty, so I'm collecting the bones of your legs. I know that sounds weird, but I can't. I'm a hobbit, and I can't resist the temptation to explore this new recipe. I don't even think, however, come to think of it, that she offered me any of the pork myself, which was a serious oversight on her part. I can't help but think. She wanted to offer a reward that really meant business, but that's okay. All right. So we're getting there. How close are we to Minas Ariel now? Oh my goodness, I've got quests all over the place. Do I want to go this way? Can you get anywhere down here? I don't think you can get anywhere down here. Just better go take out this White Hand Guard. I've not even been keeping track of how many goblin tabards and scabbards I've collected so far. Okay. Okay, alright, so let me do another question here. Okay, Karita Alexander. Hi, Karita. Okay, and is wondering, she has a follow-up question about the Watcher in the Water. I finished the tabards. Apparently, I got enough of whatever it was. How smart is the Watcher exactly? Is it aware of the ring, or is it just dumb and cranky? This is a really fascinating question, and again, it's another one of those things which I think that Tolkien just kind of left tantalizing for a reason. That is to say, okay, on the one hand, there's no real reason to suspect that the Watcher in the Water has any plans for the ring, like it's going to wear it or something like that, right? Like, we imagine like the one squid to rule them all with like the ring on its tentacle. I don't think that that's the case. But you can't ignore the fact that it was Frodo that got grabbed and not anybody else. That this thing just did decide it was going to go for Frodo. And that's interesting. Now, what does this mean? If we assume for argument's sake, that the Watcher in the Water was being, in some sense, strategic, that it was not a coincidence that he went after Frodo first, why? What would be? Does he have a? Is he smart enough to have a plan? I don't see any evidence, I would say, of real planning of strategy on the part of the Watcher in the Water, but I would say that, again, it seems to me to defy pure coincidence that he goes after Frodo first. So the question would be, if he is going for the ring on purpose, perhaps not by, is not some kind of long-term stratagem on his part, but just through some kind of perception of the ring, and that he went for it. What was his plan to do with it? I don't know if he would have had a plan, but I suspect, well, you think back, he might have eaten it. I mean, he might have kind of gone all Ungoliant. Oh, two can play the stealth game, Mr. Silent Yellowfang. Oh, but of course, you can also detect me when I'm stealth, so there's that. He could have gone all Ungoliant on the ring, conceivably, and have actually eaten it or attempted to consume it. The actual use of things for the sake of of things like the ring for gathering power is one thing, but there is also there seems to be some sense of like absorbing power. With Ungoliant, it might just have been a light thing, but I can't ever forget the that image of Ungoliant consuming the gems of the Noldor. And I'm kind of wondering if the Watcher in the Water might have made a similar kind of move. Where did I? Oh my goodness! How would I get rid of these before I start picking up pottery? Okay. Attracted the whole pack here. That's exciting. Okay. Well, my collection of wolf teeth is moving along quite well. All right, so we've got some ancient pottery shards here and Arnorian rubble. I like that. Arnorian, not just rubble. That's any kind of rubble. This is Arnorian rubble we're talking about here. Now, this I think is a really interesting kind of quest idea. I mean, okay, like it's a little bit, kind of silly to imagine. I mean, all of those people in the Forsaken Inn were, I almost said the Forgotten Inn, which is a different place. All those people in the Forsaken Inn were talking about, sort of collecting things here for. Got the coins and the heirlooms. So I can imagine. I mean, they're not very good scavengers if, like, they're still lying around in huge heaps with this kind of profusion here in this area. So that's a little bit, but sort of accepting that for a moment, the mere fact of people working as scavengers this way is to me really interesting. We remember, especially from the perspective of, the Eglain and the people of Bree here. Remember that the difference in the level of civilization between the Númenóreans and the men of Middle-earth was really huge. There was a very big gap, to the point where when the Númenóreans returned to Middle-earth, for the first times after they were, after going to Númenor, they were like revered as gods by the locals after their return, and it was pretty. So even after their decline, it was still the gap was still really large. So the idea now, Arnor has fallen. This still would have been within. Well, no, we're getting out of the Cardolin range now, and towards Rudauer, which is going to play a bigger role in the rest of the story that we're going to be doing here in the rest of Book 2, as I recall. But anyway, the idea that we have these old Arnorian ruins around, and that there will be, things, almost anything, that they're pottery, that they're coins, that, any of the sort of remnants, even the walls and the stone cutting itself, is likely to have been of a very different kind and of a very superior sort to the buildings and the artifacts of the people who lived around here. So that an Arnorian ruin of this kind would contain stuff that could be recovered and would be valuable because usable or adaptable to their current standards. Seems, plausible. I would imagine, thinking about the ruins of the ancient civilizations that filled this region, and the remnant of the people that have stayed, the idea that a significant portion of the culture would be kind of dominated by, sort of scavenging the ancient ruins. That seems to me entirely fitting to what we see or could expect, based on the way that the sort of the cultural situation is described. So I think it's really interesting that Lotro they've used that, they use that in several different regions, because it would be, it's not just the remains of an old civilization, it's the remains of an older and far more advanced civilization than their own. So even okay, he's not interested in me, I guess. So that even even the rubble of Arnor here. Did I finish? Do I have enough? Oh, I've got enough stuff, huh? Okay, all right, I'm good. I don't need any more Arnorian rubble. Collected my quota. Do I have enough warg tails? Oh no, I don't. Still need some more. He's still not interested. Just can't get that guy's attention. All right. How am I doing on my quests here? Okay. Oh man. Being rudely interrupted by... Oh my goodness. Look, here I'm trying to review my bounty quests here, Mr. Bird. And I'm just... Can't leave a hobbit to take inventory here? Alright. I need one more warg. One more warg. Some more wolf hides and teeth. Oh, look, there's a wolf. However, I've been very remiss so far, and I'm sure everyone is frightfully disappointed that I have not done a more thorough architectural analysis of where we are here, so let's do that. So, okay, this is clearly an Arnorian fortress, and we have the great seven-pointed star motif. These walls clearly have a piece with those older walls around Bree. You can tell by the fact that we have this curtain wall with these towers interspersed among them that this was this was not decorative. This was a defensive fortification. We see we've got the lower courtyard here, and then the higher walls. I myself would not have built huge stone staircases into it, but that's okay. That's just me. The Arnorians doubtless knew better than I did, but you can see a multi-layered level of defense here, down in protecting the valley. so that this was presumably an Arnorian settlement prior to, like the fall of Arnor. So not just an outpost, not just a wall near the, road, but this is clearly protecting where these people lived up there. So that's kind of cool. All right, and I finished my warg tales. Excellent. And there's just a path, huh? Yeah, we had some more, some more walls going on up here. Aha! Oops, sorry. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's my treasure spotting. It's working. How wonderful. Oh well. I was just about to stealth myself so that warg wouldn't see me, and then he saw me. Okay. What? Oh, I couldn't stealth. I didn't even see those guys there. Oh, but they saw my friend. You don't actually need help, do you, up there? Oh, no, you're level 53. You don't need help. Okay. Okay. Let's go up on this hilltop. I see a quest up here. Come on. Up the hill. There we go. Good horse. Pony, technically. Hey there. Lay off winner. Somebody loves you, I guess.
Will you help me?
Yeah, I'm a real hobbit. I'm totally real. Laefwena of the Eglain. You've been trapped here for weeks? Oh man, that's awful. Your people were overrun and forced to flee? Oh dear. You've got grievous wounds? That's terrible. Let's, I'll protect you. 'Cause I'm good at that. You need my help. Okay, no problem. I'm here to help you I'm here to help you escape. And since you're not a tree, this will probably be okay. Come on, Laefwena. Let's head down. And my suggestion, Laefwena, if you see any goblins, go the other way. Just don't get near them. We cannot risk the valley? Oh, that valley? Ooh, that's pretty far down anyway. You want to, I mean, you're grievously wounded? You want to jump down that cliff? Yeah, let's go through the goblins. No, we don't have to cross the bridge. There's another way, right? Oh. And there's... Oh, man. It's... If you go left, it's right there, man. I'm telling you. Like, you can get away, and there's just nothing but a few wolves in your way. You can avoid the goblins pretty much entirely, Laefwena. Okay, so just hang a right up here. Right down there. Oh, good, at least I've drawn your aggro onto me, which is, I guess, good. See, I got you. I am your protector. Hang on, I'm limping. Just wait for me, Laefwena. No, take a right. And you missed the turn, Laefwena. This is the long way. Well, I'm telling you, these NPCs these days, they just never learn. Okay, go this way. Where are you going? We're going over through that ruin. This is not the shortest way. Well, yeah, we should use caution from here. How about we use caution by going the easy way? What do you say? I'm all in favor of caution as a general thing. We must take care, because if we stand here for a long time, that goblin over there will come over and attack us. Yes, we'd better be careful, lest something like that occur. Get him! There you go. Good work, Leofwina. Alright, you're doing better than the tree. Okay, now if you come around this way, they won't attack. Just come around the edge. You're doing it. I totally thought you were going to charge right through there. Wow. An NPC that goes around mobs? I don't believe it. Watch my footing. Okay. Oh, because of... Oh, there's spiders down below. That's kind of nasty. Okay. No worries. Well, okay. We can't really avoid these. So, what are you going to do? Alright, we got it, Leofwina. Okay, let's see if I can rescue an NPC and answer a lore question. Okay. Beware for burning burglars. Okay. Karita has another excellent question on the subject of monsters hidden in random places, possibly Moria in Middle-earth. And question is, how many Balrogs are there left in Middle-earth? This is an excellent question, but a completely unanswerable question. Because, of course, there is another question that is presupposed in the question, how many Balrogs are left in Middle-earth, and that is, how many Balrogs were in Middle-earth in the first place? Tolkien's ideas about this seemed to change quite a bit over time. That is, at the beginning, the Balrogs go way back. You know, the earliest stories of Middle-earth that Tolkien ever wrote contained Balrogs. In fact, the very earliest story that he ever wrote was the story of the Fall of Gondolin. And the Fall of Where are we going? This is the wrong way entirely, Leofwina. Seriously. I'm just going to stand in the flames and fight creatures that we had no business fighting in the first place. You're doing pretty well, Leofwina, but honestly, what happened to your grievous injuries, for one thing? Okay, I see all these Eglain trade bundles, which I want to stop and get, but if I do, then you're going to die, so I'll just stick with you, and I'll come back for the trade. No, we're... Okay, no, let's keep going in the opposite direction. Anything? Okay. At the foot of the stairs, we turn west towards freedom. Okay. Yeah, we could have turned west towards freedom back over there. Let us show these... Okay. We're just challenging the vermin, huh? Fine. Okay. Anyway, so as I said, in the very first Middle-earth story that Tolkien ever wrote, which was The Fall of Gondolin, I hate spear throwers. He had the Balrogs were a major feature. The Balrogs were basically the captains, sort of the generals and the leaders of the armies of Morgoth as they were attacking Gondolin. And there are bunches of them. I mean, there are Balrogs everywhere, and they get killed very frequently. That is, like, Tuor kills like a dozen of them in the battle, and Eglain of the Fountain not only kills Gothmog, the #1 Balrog, who was originally, by the way, the captain of the Balrogs was originally depicted as Morgoth's son. He was Morgoth's child in the early versions of the story. But anyway, apart from that disturbing idea, the point is that there were lots of Balrogs, and they died comparatively easy. They were very, intimidating soldiers. They were the sort of the generals and captains of Morgoth's army, but they were not the really impressive creatures that we see when we meet the Balrog in Moria. It seems relatively clear that in Tolkien's later concept, the Balrogs were going to be much, much fewer. He was going to have like squads of Balrogs fighting as foot soldiers anymore. They were going to be much rarer and much more special. The Balrog that we see, I mean, we're told explicitly, that the context that, Legolas says that the Balrog of Morgoth that they met, past tense, in Moria, he is the greatest of Elfbanes, except for Sauron himself. So that basically the implication is that they're almost peers, the Balrog and Sauron, and that was not really the case in the old days. So, so the question, Karita, coming back to your question, the premise of the question, who. Oh, sorry, I'm not standing close enough to actually attack you. How many Balrogs are there left? It's sort of premised upon the newer version, basically, of the concept of the Balrogs. The newer, greater, rarer version of the Balrogs. But even then, they're not really enumerated. And even if they had been initially enumerated back in the first stage, we don't really know how many escaped. Okay. Freedom at last, but you found one more goblin to pick a fight with, didn't you? Yes, you did. But to answer the question sort of generally as well as possible, oh, are you Gadoric's daughter? That's kind of awesome. Yeah, sure. Well, no, happy to tell him, and I won't tell him that you kind of caused trouble, and that really, that you need a little stealth training. Just gotta say, bye, Leofwina. That was great. Okay, now I'm gonna go back and get some of those trade goods, but I'm gonna do it burglar style, not Leofwina. I'm gonna hunt down every goblin in the ruins style. Okay. So anyway, we don't know how many, but to the more general question, could there still be other? Was that the last? Did Gandalf kill the last Balrog in Middle Earth, or could there be others? Yeah, I think there could be others. That seems to me to be very very likely in keeping with. Oh, darn it. More spear throwers. Yeah. I also mentioned that I dislike fighting people on stairs. It would not at all be a shock for there to be more Balrogs. I would find that perfectly plausible. Oh, okay. No more time for me, huh? That's fine. So I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, there's at least one other Balrog who creeps up in the Lotro world. Am I remembering correctly? I've never run the Rift yet, but am I remembering correctly that there's a Balrog up in the Rift? Again, that seems to me, why not? Sure. There could be other Balrogs who escaped and had hidden themselves. I guess that's one way to blow my cover. Just to lob a fireball on me. Oh. So as I'm close up with the goblin here. Notice how very elf-like his ears are. That's an interesting touch. I mean, they're like a little deformed and everything, but they're very elvish. Okay. So as I continue to collect trade goods, let me see about other questions here. Okay. Oh, okay. An interesting pair of questions. Was Saruman more powerful than Sauron? Okay, and was Galadriel more powerful than Saruman? Okay, so let's see if we can get some like a ranking system going on here. Okay, is Sauron more powerful than Saruman? No, definitely not. It is very clear that Gandalf, for instance, believes that if it came to it, Sauron would absolutely mop the floor with Saruman. This is why Saruman has to hide in his tower. So Sauron is definitely more powerful than Saruman. Now Galadriel, where does Galadriel rank? Again, she's certainly more powerful than Saruman, toe to toe. But where would she be against Sauron? Well, see, it kind of depends on what you're looking for, right? That is to say, could she just beat him in a fight? Could she just take him on one-on-one and defeat him? I doubt it, because that's kind of not how Galadriel rolls. You know, wacky green fringe aside, you know, from the third Hobbit film. That's not normally how she rolls. Galadriel, though, what we do see is we see her openly defying Sauron when she says that, you know, Sauron is always reaching out his mind to her, but the way is shut, and she sort of holds her hands out in this gesture of defiance. Let me not fall down into the spiders. Oh, darn it. I was trying to pick up that bundle before, and you're standing on it, so I guess that makes it a little harder to pick up without you noticing, isn't it? So she is able to defy him. So it's obviously they're sort of closely enough matched that she can engage in a battle of wills with Sauron, and you know, hold her own there. Okay, let me think. What do I? Let me go back to my quest here. Okay, I still need one more boar. Okay, I haven't found any crabine at all. Still need another boar. Where are the orcs? Found any orcs? Just goblins, I guess. But I've done all those goblins and some more wolf teeth. Right, find those on the way out, and that's easy enough. Haven't done any of the spiders. Let's go visit the spiders. Hey, let's jump down and visit the spiders. How about that? Woohoo! Wow! And there is one. Okay, so these guys are huge. You may or may not want to fight several of these all at the same time. Whew. Okay. Okay, so giant spiders are really nasty. Now, notice we have no real explanation for how spiders came to be here in the Lonelands. We did at least get an origin story for the random spiders that we found in the Shire, right? Remember that guy with his mushrooms, which must have been invaded by an egg sac of some giant spider? And then we found the giant spiders who had sort of mysteriously taken up residence in... who had sort of mysteriously taken up residence in the mine there, right? Okay. Well, here I am. Where am I? Okay. Map not especially helpful there. Which way do I want to go? I want to go back towards the entrance, I think. And since I right now have nothing but a deed for these spiders, where do I get spider quests? I can't remember. Do I have to talk to somebody in the Forsaken Inn to get spider quests? I think I might. Couldn't remember. All right. Giant spiders. Yeah. Can I actually get out that way? I can't see where I'm going on account of being invisible. Am I stuck? I'm stuck. Oh well. Just looking around here, trying to figure out where I am. It's okay, I'll just wander around amongst the spiders. Let me... That's seriously creepy. I have to admit, I find the giant spiders kind of gross. Let me answer another more question here. Okay. So, yeah, so Galadriel and Saruman. Saruman, you'll remember, was the head, he was the head of the Order of Wizards. He was also the leader of the White Council. Though we learn later that Galadriel would have chosen Gandalf to be the leader of the White Council. I don't know why Galadriel's advice was not taken on the question of the leadership of the White Council, apart from the long-standing precedent among elf kings to ignore very wise women, especially if they're married to them. So that it may be nothing more than that. That is explaining why Galadriel got ignored. But... Okay, here we're moving back towards Minas Ariel, and the oops, I was doing pretty well before that. But nevertheless, there is from the beginning a clear sense that Galadriel is both sort of the superior of Saruman and Gandalf both. So I think that's I would have no problem generally ranking them in terms of who really is the most powerful. I would have no real problem ranking them. Sauron first. And did I just turn around and come back the same way? Doggone it. That's really obnoxious. Or did I do a loop? I did a loop, didn't I? Lasai. Okay. Fine. I'll go the other way. Can I go the other way? I obviously have not been here recently enough. Excuse me, vile Morwebs. Oh dear. I've got 2 of you now. How about I keep running and collect like 4 or 5? Would that be even more fun? Okay, fine. Take it both together. Oh, that's not happening. Oh, well, that's handy. My quiet bodyguard over there is drawing aggro from several spiders, so yeah, it's very handy. All right. Can I get out this way? No, this is still a dead end. All right, I'm back where I started. Okay, well, so here I am trying to answer lore questions and find my way out of a maze at the same time, and that is shockingly not going well, as it has shockingly not gone well before. As the last time I got lost in the midst of spiders while attempting to do that. But that's okay. We'll try again. Yeah, Gordriel is reminding me part of the problem is undoubtedly the fact that I'm wearing the wrong outfit. I really shouldn't be sneaking among spiders in my farm boy outfit. That's probably part of my problem. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's see. Vigortheon asks, am I aware of the Lord of the Rings living card game made by Fantasy Flight Games? I am not. That sounds very interesting. I am. I'm definitely interested in other game adaptations. I do not know that game, so I can't really talk about it. But I do think. In general, see, it seems to me when adapting the Lord of the Rings world for gameplay in general, there's always the question of basically how are you going to prioritize things? Or let me say that in a different way. There's sort of a question of what exactly it is that you're trying to accomplish, right? If what you have in mind is a particular game and you are imposing a sort of, you're kind of putting a Lord of the Rings skin on it in a sense. And I don't want to say that as if like that's just a terribly bad thing. It's a perfectly fair way to proceed. All right, look, I'm at yikes. 5, huh? Okay. Sneaking epic fail there, really. Wow. Boy, when my stealth fails, it fails in a conspicuous way, but I did need some more wolf teeth, so that's handy. Okay, but I'm done with wargs. I need one more boar. Oh, I should probably be a little sneakier if I'm going to, because there are lots of stealthed wolves here. As I recall. No. All right. Oh yeah, games. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so again, like it's not that games that are basically have set out to accomplish a particular game end or make a particular kind of game and then kind of Tolkien vocabulary and Tolkien races and Tolkien-ish quest lines and things are kind of superimposed on top of it. Where I would really sort of draw the distinction between that and a game which really attempts an adaptation of Tolkien is one which to me it all depends on how thoughtfully you're really engaging with the text. This is why, from all I've heard, and let me qualify this because I have not played the game the game that I'm about to mention without having played it myself. Is Shadows of Mordor, the recent major video game that looks just like Assassin's Creed. I am, from like a gaming standpoint, I'm kind of interested in the game, but it's hard for me to give that game any real credit as an adaptation because it does not seem to me to engage very thoughtfully with the text at all. There is... the concept of that game are just about as diametrically opposed to all that the books are about, to the greater world of the book, as I can imagine. The whole business with, dominating the spirits of your enemy, and it's just there can be nothing more sketchy than what the players are asked to do in that game from the perspective of Tolkien's lore, and so it just strikes me as there are a bunch of things that you could sort of theoretically say about it. Oh, okay, no, sorry. Now I do need to switch back to Farm Boy because I want to make a good impression on the Eglain. Maybe, actually, I'm really a ninja might be a good impression to make on them, but I don't really know them well enough to know that. So let them think I'm still innocuous, because I have, a huge pile of boar feet and warg tails and goblin tabards and whatnot, so presumably that will vouch for my fearsomeness, even if I look like a farm boy. Anyway, so as I say, to me, when I'm looking at a game, a Lord of the Rings game, a Tolkien game, that's sort of my first question: is this really doing an interpretation? Is there adaptation going on here? Is it really thinking about and engaging with the text in an interesting and thoughtful way? So I would be interested. I've never seen a card game that does that kind of thing, so I'd be interested to see that, but I haven't seen it yet. All right, yeah, Leofwena's alive. It was easy, actually. She's so much easier than a tree. I know that's like what all daughters, sort of hope their fathers are someday told about them. Your daughter is easier to protect than a tree. But, Okay, very good. Rescuer's Blade. That sounds good. Yeah, I want that. I want a Rescuer's Blade. Okay. I got your trade goods.
Did you need something?
Yeah. Long ago, your people left the bustle of city life behind and instead choosing to live our lives here in the place of our ancestors. We took the name Eglain, the Forsaken, and have lived here in peace with nature, taking only what the ruins offered to us, right? So you're scavengers. No, that's cool. That's cool. There was peace, but then a ranger and some others crossed the last bridge into the Trollshaws, and evil has spread in their wake. I know, right? Right after Strider went by, the whole place just went to pot. I noticed that too. Okay, goblins in league with orcs. Wow. Okay. Symbol of the white hand. Oh, man. Ooh, leggings of the Eglain, huh? That's a pretty big step up from my leggings. How about we do that? Okay. All right. Got some scabbards.
Woe to me.
Yes, I did. I'm a jeweler, thank you. Okay. And, yeah, I took out some vicious wargs. They seemed to me pretty vicious, especially when they ganged up on me, and what I can't help but think is a somewhat unfair manner. Okay. And
I'm sorry to trouble you, but will you help me?
Well, yeah, I am helping you, man. Don't worry about it. Oh, no, you want me to do this again? I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm good. Vengeance for the Lost.
It's a sorry day.
What was this? Oh, that's killing goblins? I can't even remember what this was about. We're sent to search the lone lands for aid. Hey, good thing you found the burglar. Glad you will speak well of me. That's so good. You're giving me your own sword? I'm really touched. That's super nice, man. And it gives a boost to both agility and vitality? Wow. Okay. Yeah.
How can I be of service?
Oh, right, yeah, you were the one who was looking for the Arnorian rubble. Yeah. The Fox's Trousers. The Fox's Trousers. That sounds like the name of a really good pub song, or maybe a limerick, an off-color limerick. Yeah. All right. Woohoo! Level 23. Oh yeah. Got to gain some
Can't you
experience
leave me
to
to
get
my
over towards
misery?
Oscaruth. Can I leave you to your misery? The things that people say when you talk to them are really kind of funny. You hired me to get
I don't know
tabards
if you
for
can
you.
help me.
But I'm good on tabards. We don't need more goblin tabards, do we? How many goblin tabards could one person really need?
How can I be of service?
Yep, I found some tabards. No, sorry, you didn't want tabards. You wanted pottery. Got some of that too. I am all over the place. No, missing supply cart. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, let's see. All right, and he just wants me to do that quest. Could I just see through the hole in the roof there? Hang on a second. Yeah. Again, there's daylight coming in. I guess it's a feature, except like when it rains in the common room of the inn. You'd think more people would find that inconvenient. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. You were the one who wanted the... I didn't find any crubine.
Can't you
But,
leave me to my misery?
yeah. Oh, no. I thought you were giving me soup for a second. I wanted the pork soup that you make from the marrow of the bones. Yeah. Secret spices? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Arinora's boar surprise. I can't get some of that. That is so tantalizing. That's just not right. And blankets, yeah. Ah, the little Eglain children snuggling up in their warm furs this winter. Yeah, that's so good. Okay, all right. I've got a ring. Oh yeah, let's go there. Let's do that. Okay. Excellent. How are we doing for time? Okay. We're almost out of time. Well, let's wander off towards in the general area of Oscaruth here, and let's take the east road. Okay. So this is the way that Strider and the hobbits didn't go, right? They did not just travel down the east road, which is obviously, as you can see, this more or less straight road all the way across the Lone Lands. So while we're going, I want to talk a little bit about the Eglain. I think the Eglain are really brilliant. It's and in my mind, it's a really marvelous example of the kind of inventiveness that the Lotro people do. And again, the way that they keep coming back to the text, even when the text is being unhelpful to them. That is, the Lone Lands are kind of this sort of prototypical moment of sort of the challenge that the Turbine folks face in adapting Tolkien, because he quite plainly says that when you get past the Forsaken Inn, there's just nobody. And that the lands are desolate and empty. And trying to design this game area for the Lone Lands, you need some people to interact with and some stuff to do, or else it's going to be kind of boring. How many boars can you hunt in the wild, especially when you have nobody to make boar surprise out of it afterwards, right? So what do? So what they did was they said, all right, well, we're going to make a group of people who live here, so people, a faction of people with whom you can gain reputation points. The Lone Land is going to be the home to a particular group of people. But wait, Tolkien said that there was nobody who lived in the Lone Lands. So, and there's all those descriptions. Let's see, where are we here? Let's look upwards. No, that's downwards. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're right under Weathertop here. Uh-huh. Yeah, so here's the southern face of Weathertop. Looking good. Amansul. Boy, what a defensible position that must have been. And then some of these other evil castles. Well, see, that was another Arnorian fortress. You can see the Arnorian architecture from here. This one, not so obvious, but maybe so. Anyway, So again, here's Tolkien says there's nobody lives here, and they're like, oh yeah, there's this whole group of people that lives here. So do they just ignore it? They just say like, we know, we're just going to completely neglect what Tolkien says here? No, that's not what they do. Instead, they say, okay, yeah, there is a people group that lives here, but they're a super secretive people group, right? They live here, but nobody in the, neither, none of the hobbits, neither Bilbo nor Frodo, ever saw or interacted with them because they keep to themselves and they live off the road and they hide amongst the ruins. This is not their home, but another one of those ruins. Again, clearly Arnorian architecture looks like. What a fortress that must have been. There are a lot of fortresses in this region. I mean, of course, with the scale of the Lotro terrain, they seem even closer together than, of course, they would actually have been in a proper scale. But yeah. Anyway, but again, though, I recalled last time the passages from the book, especially from The Hobbit, but from The Lord of the Rings, from The Fellowship of the Ring too, that describe the ruins and the walls that you can see on the hills around here in the Weather Hills. This was a hotly contested region. I'm on Sul because it was such a strong defensible position that really commanded this whole area. This was the focal point of the conflict between the divided kingdoms of Arnor, when the North Kingdom divided into Rhudaur and Cardolan and Arthedain. We're told that their primary wars were over the control of Amon Sul, and of course, by the way, the Palantir that was within it. Let's see. Can we still see it from here? We've gone over a ridge. No, can't really see it so much from here. Anyway, so we've got all these ruins, we've got all these castles, and we've got these secretive people who keep to themselves. They seem more like a kind of gypsy people, keeping to themselves and living off what they can find in the ruins and what they can trade with people as they come through. Some people as they come through. Oh, we've got some orange spiders that I don't really want a piece of right now. But here we're getting close to their home base at Oscaruth, where Radagast is. There we are. That's a really nice one. Boy, those are Norian guys. They really could design a fortress. And more importantly, they really could choose a defensible position. They knew defensible land when they saw it. Okay. Let me go down and say hi to the stable master. Having a little lag issue here.
Well met.
Alright. I can't get to Candith's encampment. Why not? Oh, I can only get back there when he starts book 3. Okay. Fine. We're going to get swift travel to Rivendell. That's okay. I wouldn't want swift travel to Rivendell because I haven't been there yet. All right. Hey, I've heard Radagast the Brown is here. Is Radagast the Brown here? Because I'd love to talk to Radagast the Brown. Hey, Frederick. You're not Frederick. You're just Frederick. Okay. No, that's not what I want. I think it's just actually Radagast that I want. Let me dismount because I feel rude riding through your camp. Hi, Eglain. I saved Gaderick Muntz's daughter, even though she really tried to get herself killed. Whoa, I just got completely run over by somebody. Oh, right. Are there any wizards in here? Brown ones, preferably? Hey! Here he is. That's a nice setup they have here. So we've got Radagast as the friend of the Eglain. I really like Radagast. Radagast is one of the really, we'll talk about
Radagast more next time, but I think getting the chance to hang out with Radagast is a really fun element of these early quest lines in Volume 1. They totally let me in, Radagast. Mostly because I'm super burglarious. Okay, you've been expecting me. Really? That's so wizardly of you. I've in fact taken my time. Oh, I mean, okay, like they did send me on a whole bunch of errands earlier today, but I did as well as I could. Yeah, I found something on Weathertop. Yeah, it's a G rune. Yeah, I figured that, actually. Okay. He was at Amansul on October the 3rd. Yeah. Interesting that Radagast would use the Shire calendar, too. I, too, saw the lightning upon Weathertop. Yeah. I think he might have found trouble. Okay. Oh, I get stuff. You're gonna need to... Wow, my shoulders are really bad.
Will you help me?
Yeah, I'll help you. Of course I'll help you. But hang on, let's save this for next time here. Because I definitely don't have time to help you just now, Radagast, so we'll... That's a nice... What is that, a pelican? Hawk? What is that thing? I don't even know what that is. What kind of bird is that? Very interesting. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted by other people's cosmetic pets. So, very good. So I think we'll hang here with Radagast for a little bit. We'll get caught up, and then next time we'll see what Radagast has in store for us here at Ostgaruth. Because I think we are out of time. Yes, we are. Okay. Thanks for all the lore questions today. I will see how many times I can get lost while attempting to answer lore questions next time. And thanks very much. So thanks for joining me, everybody, today. Tomorrow we will try to get... Next week, we will try to get to the bottom of what... or really the top of what is this mysterious evil force that is in motion here in the Lone Lands. So what's going on and what can we, the burglar, do about it? So thanks everybody for joining me, and I look forward to more fun burglarious action next week. Thanks everybody. Bye now.